Good morning students, welcome to today's lesson. Today's lesson for discussion is English language curriculum. This is meant for second year B.Ed students. So before we enter into the discussion, let me ask you a few questions. What is critical thinking and how can you make learner to construct knowledge? I hope you have notebooks and pen to jot down and also to listen to this discussion. And, I also think that you will get answers to these questions in our discussion. So let us begin with the English language curriculum discussion, and before we go deep into the lesson, let us see the etymological meaning of the word curriculum. The word curriculum is derived from Latin word curre, means a chariot to run. Secondary Education Commission also gave some meaning for curriculum. The traditional subjects that are there in schools, like the students learn like social studies, mathematics, sciences, 3 languages, all these are part of curriculum. It also said that the totality of experiences the children get in manifold activities organized by the school, in the classroom, outside the classroom, in the playground, in the laboratory, in the library, and in other workshops, all these are nothing but they are curriculum. It further said that the interactions, the talks between the children, students and the teachers are also part of curriculum. Where do they talk? They talk in the classroom, outside the classroom, in the library, laboratory. So all these are nothing but curriculum only. Apart from this, there are other aspects in school management and school education. They are the process like preparation of textbooks, giving orientation to the teachers, and as and when there is change in the curriculum, as and when there is change of textbooks, summative evaluation, formative evaluation, continuous evaluation, and the examinations conducting, all these are part of curriculum. So there is another viewpoint. So it also says that people of other educationalists, they also believe that curriculum means it is a plan of action. It is a written document and strategy for achieving desired goals or ends. So written document, what comes to your mind? Before we got the independence and after we got the independence, the commissions were set up and then they gave their recommendations with regard to the curriculum and its subjects, learning activities, other activities to be incorporated in the school syllabus for the benefit of the all round development of the child. So all these are nothing but they are the curriculum. Very recently we have something like National Curriculum Framework 2005 prepared by NCERT, National Curriculum Framework for Teacher Education 2009, State Curriculum Framework 2011, and then Right to Education Act, which was implemented in the year 2010 on 1st April. All these are the written documents and they talk about the curriculum. So still, if you want to learn more about curriculum, if you want to know more about curriculum, let us throw some light on the types of curriculum. So in the beginning you have the subject centered curriculum, then you have in vogue activity or experienced curriculum, core curriculum is also there. So what does subject centered curriculum say? Subject centered curriculum is nothing but the subject matter is organized in spiral. The initially basic concepts are taught to the learners or to the children, and then the other aspects after break, other aspects are also reinforced to the learners by adding some more information. Subject centered curriculum is a traditional way of imparting knowledge. The children learn directly from the teacher's lectures, listening to the lectures. Then what happens? The teacher from her memory or from his memory talks about the concepts, talks about the meaning of the concept, gives the examples, give the definitions, and then explains. So, like this, children, they listen passively, they, if possible, they try to take down the notes, and then they prepare very well. They also get the skills that are related to all these things, and finally they appear for the exam and get through the examination. So, subject centered curriculum advantage is that it gives intelligence. It gives intellect to the children, cognition develops a lot. See, rote memorization. With the help of rote memorization, the children write the exams and then they get through. Then came the activity or experience centered curriculum. Activity means like there are certain subject matter is there, and some of the subject matter is translated into the activity. For example, the vocabulary is there. So, vocabulary is translated into a language game prepared by the teacher. In this, what happens, with the help of activity, the children learn and their memory becomes permanent. In activity based curriculum, project method is there. Teacher and the child learn, they impart the knowledge. With the help of activity, the child gains the knowledge. The content is presented, but child, with the help of activity, with the help of language games, with the help of some other completing the exercises and participating in the group discussions, participating in the whole class activity, individual activity and group activity, he gains some knowledge, and then as a result of which his memory becomes stronger, and then finally he enters into the exam and then gets through the examination. Then comes the core curriculum. Core curriculum, most of us are very much familiar with the core curriculum. Core curriculum has subjects compulsorily they have to choose, they have to study throughout the course, and then optional subjects are also given. From among the optional subjects, teachers like students need to choose and then complete. There is no compulsion, so this helps the children to learn some more activities, and it depends if they are in a group. We can't say, isn't it, a group in a classroom also always has some gifted child, 1 or 2 gifted children will be there, average students will be there, and backward students will be there. So, core curriculum, I think it helps the gifted children. The curriculum is a comprehensive term, the school practices all are drawn from the curriculum only. If you still want some more information on curriculum, what you can do, we can also look at the differences between the syllabus and curriculum. So, the word, just now we saw the etymological meaning of the word curriculum. It has been derived from the Latin word curre, means a chariot to run. A chariot means it is not a one day activity. Running is not a one day activity. It is not a 2 day activity. It is say for example a formal education, 10 years. So, curriculum gives a child to run for 10 years, whereas syllabus is a restricted one. It talks about the 1 year activities, it talks about the 1 year content, it talks about the 1 year examination, it talks about the 1 year evaluation, summative and formative. So, before the completion of the when we talk about the differences between the curriculum and syllabus, we also can look at the different kinds of syllabus that are in vogue. In India, in Telangana state, we have so many, like CBSE syllabus is there, ICSE syllabus is there, and state board syllabus is there. So, ICSE, CBSE and state board syllabus put together is called as curriculum, and then separately ICSE, CBSE and state board is called as a syllabus. But in preparation of curriculum, a huge activity takes place, before then there are certain eminent people called for, and a committee is formed, and after which they decide what to fix in the curriculum, what to not to include in the curriculum. At the state level also the curriculum happens in the same manner. All the eminent experts, they sit together and decide what to mention in the syllabus. See, both the things are mentioned, and then we have what you call the other little difference between curriculum and syllabus. Curriculum is wider, it has wider in the sense it is more wider, it is lengthier, it is longer than the syllabus. It is prescriptive and the syllabus is descriptive. So, like by learning these one or two differences, you will understand the concept of curriculum in a better manner. So, like the role of the teacher is very important in what you call talking about the curriculum in the classroom. The students, when they come regularly to the class, what happens in the classroom, in the outside the classroom, in the laboratory, in the general assembly, there are so many activities done in the school. Celebration of Children's Day is there, celebration of Teachers Day, celebration of 15th August, celebration of 26th January, and annual day is also there, isn't it? So, in all these activities come under curriculum, and narrowly some of the activities. So, teacher can play a very important role in all these activities by giving them reinforcement to the children from time to time. Then after this what you call, after the differences or between the curriculum and syllabus, we have the basis of curriculum. The basis, like just now I told you that the curriculum construction is a wider activity. It is done at national level. Then a committee is formed, all are informed, all experts from various fields are invited to complete the formalities. So, in basis of curriculum we have philosophical basis, psychological basis, sociological basis. So, different schools of philosophies, like age old philosophies are there, still they are very much relevant. We have idealism, you have naturalism, you have realism, pragmatism, humanism, progressivism, constructivism, all these are there. They all time and again recommended for various courses for the primary students, for the upper primary students, and also for the high school students. So, in English language curriculum, the idealists talked about the inclusion of spiritual studies, inclusion of religious studies. They also said languages are very important, and the role of the teacher is a spiritual guru. Then values are permanent. So, when we see the National Curriculum Framework 2005, when we see the State Curriculum Framework 2011, and all other aspects, these things are included. Then apart from this, what naturalism is there? Naturalism recommended for art and craft. It said the role of the teacher. Nowadays we have art and craft in teacher education, and also art teacher can bring into the classroom as a activity inside the classroom to make what you call origami or something of that sort. So, naturalists, they said that the role of the teacher is only behind the curtain. You have realists in among the realists you have sense realists. They always have the highlighted that the senses are the gateways of knowledge. That way you have to make the curriculum organization. Then you have pragmatism. Pragmatism, always learning by doing, project method is there. It also suggested for some of the core courses, but it has not given any importance to art and poetry. by learning by doing is the their very contribution to the activity based curriculum. So, if for them, for pragmatists, the role of the teacher is only helper and friend. So, like this you have the basis of curriculum. We got the independence in the year 1947, after which Indian government taken lot of pain in recommending so many commissions and committees. Until 2019 also, new education policy it formulated and gave its recommendations to be implemented all at central schools, CBSE schools, and also for state government schools. So, one curriculum basis that was there on the screen is 2005. It recommended 5 guiding principles for curriculum development. The knowledge the child is learning in the classroom should be helpful to him when he goes outside. So, there is a cartoon in the English classroom, and cartoon talks about what you call a friendly talk between the two friends are there. The teacher should help the child to master that. He should take that experience and he should talk to the outside friends in the same manner. So, it should build the gap between the classroom and the outside. It should be helpful, then only the children will come to school running. Then rote methods. Rote methods should be given up forever and forever, because with the help of rote methods they are not developing creativity. So, like this 2005 National Curriculum Framework has given 5 areas of curriculum organization. Textbooks preparation, it also talked about textbook preparation. It should be done in a very ideal manner. Then the last one is nurturing an overriding identity informed by caring concerns within the democratic polity of the country. So, state curriculum framework, in the beginning I asked you one question, what is critical thinking? State curriculum framework 2011 did not talk what was talked in 2005 National Curriculum Framework. It looks something different, but let us say the children should be taught to ask questions in the classroom. Then by asking questions they can construct the knowledge. They should not accept it blindly, they should test it. This is what State Curriculum Framework said. State Curriculum Framework 2011 also mentioned about the teachers by saying they are collaborative learners, they are reflective practitioners. Knowledge should be constructed from time to time. And you have in teaching learning process, the child is there. In teaching learning process, do not think that the children's activity and teachers activity, but the parents and community also should be made responsible for the entire education process. Then 2010, apart from State Curriculum Framework 2011, there is one very important milestone, that is Right to Education Act. Right to Education Act was implemented in the year 2010 from April 1st onwards. What happened, you know, it said that the values enshrined in the Constitution should come to the fore in the curriculum organization. Then corporal punishment should not be given to the children, quality education should be given to the students. Then they also come come to the school with their all their backgrounds, those things should be taken into consideration. Then always what you call teacher should be appointed, should be trained. The teachers who work in the government schools should be trained. The ratio between the teacher and the students is also mentioned in the act. Like this, these are the various bases for our constitution, our curriculum construction and development. I hope you liked this very strong and comprehensive way of curriculum construction. Now let us see the principles. Like based on the different schools of philosophies and psychology and also the sociology, the principles of curriculum construction are framed. They are there on the screen. First one is child-centered principle. Child-centered principle means the child is the father of man. The child is the center, occupies the central place in the teaching learning process, and he has his needs. He should be prepared for his life, isn't it? So by looking into all these things, his needs, his readiness, his convenience, his circumstances, his all-round development, means what? His physical development, his emotional development, its social development, its moral development, then aesthetic development, cultural development, all these things taken into consideration in the principle of child centeredness. The flexibility principle is also there. In the flexibility principle, flexibility is given, some freedom for choosing, but here it has a different sense, like a different sense of students, a different set of students can adopt. It should be flexible curriculum, should be able to adopt by a different set of students. Then variety of experiences, what comes to our mind? The experiences given in the classroom, okay. Role play is there. If the teacher gives the target for a child to perform role play, then that is a experience to the child. In the outside the classroom, in the library, what happens? Children and the students, they go, the children shows the child how to look at the catalog and how to pick up the picture that is there in the text, other kinds of text. All these things are there, isn't it? So in the classroom, in the outside the classroom, in the laboratory, in the library, in the language lab, the experiences that are given should be planned, taken into consideration in the principle of variety of experiences and flexibility. Then comes the principle of integration. Integrating what? Integrating the objectives and the learning experiences, integrating the objectives and the subject matter, integrating the psychomotor domain, affective domain and the cognitive domain activities with the subject matter and with the other activities. Content is integrated with the activities that are there in the workbook. So like this, the integration of activity principle is there. As a result of this, what happens? The children like the curriculum, textbooks more and more. Without the intervention of teacher, child can open the textbook independently, and he can read the textbook beforehand. Then comes the principle of sequencing of content. Sequencing of content in the sense like arranging the things in a sequential manner. Jean Piaget, very famous psychologist, said you should arrange the activities and the content in a sequential order. Then there is what you call the problem. There is also another thing like whole versus parts. What is whole versus parts? Content presentation is done in the form of a whole. Content presentation done in the form of a parts. So from simple to complex, the teacher, depending upon the classroom students' interests, can sometimes follow this. The principle of sequencing of content should be this is very important in curriculum organization. So, the first one is simple to complex, the second one is whole versus parts, and then the chronological arrangement of the events and the dates. What does it mean? Like chronological means what? Starting from say 2005 National Curriculum Framework is there, then 2009 National Curriculum Framework for Teacher Education, then you have RTE Act 2010, then finally you have what you call 2011 State Curriculum Framework, and 2019 there is new education policy. Like this, arranging the in a sequential manner is arrangement is done in this principle. Okay. Then you have principle of leisure, elasticity, principle of continuity and creativity. These are self explanatory ones. In continuity, what happens in 3-4 times the reading comprehension can be mentioned, because the children learn English in the first class, same English is tested for them when they write the entrance examination, when they also appear for a competitive examination. One example is reading comprehension. So, hence such a kind of curriculum should be repeated and repeated. So, the next very important thing, that is the qualities of a textbook. Here I am talking about the qualities of an ideal textbook, how a textbook should be. How a textbook should be. It should have a color picture, because a picture is worth 1,000 words. Attractive cover page, the printing should be good, and it should be age appropriate material, in the sense it should not be below and above the age. The visuals, what comes to your mind? Visuals in the sense pictures only. Then it should be written by experts, superior quality, print should be readable. Like this, you have so many textbooks available in the market. If you look at the different textbooks, you will come to know. The ideal textbook talks about the exercises, mention of the exercises, mention, or at the end of every lesson there should be some exercise, some notes should be given to the teacher, and one is done for you. Means what? One fill in the blank is done for you. Based on that, looking at that, the child will complete the exercise in a very quick manner. So, in all these things, language games should have. In all these things, the role of the teacher is very important. The individual principal difference is very important, because the teacher has to do little work in the classroom. Say if 15 students are there, means teacher can take down their ages and calculate it, divided by the number of students, and then she will get some age. Then for 8th class the age is say 12 years. Then if the student's age is say 13 years, after calculating the ages, then teacher can adopt so many complex activities and complex way of teaching in the classroom. That way teacher can motivate the students from time to time to reach their targets. Finally, the principle of individual differences. Here what happens, students, their aptitudes, their interests and their focus, their targets are different. So, to meet this principle, teacher has some work. She can put extra effort in calculating all the ages of the students and divided by number of students. Say for example, for 8th class 12 years is needed. After calculating, if the teacher finds that the average age, mean age is 13 years, then teacher can implement complex activities in the classroom. So, like this, by putting some extra effort, teacher can fill the gaps. Okay. So, with this we shall come to an end. Hope you all have enjoyed this lesson. Thank you.